Must admit that there were several chances in this one. PSG with a glorious opportunity there from Vitinha, but delete. Can you say that he was deleted at the end of that one? Delighted. Okay, fine, I get it. Delighted after clearing that one off the line. Welcome back to our coverage here on the Home of Champions. And what a game so far in the first 45 minutes. Yet to see a goal in this one, though, as we take a look at the highlights now between Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain. The onslaught started from in the second minute of play. Mbappe going down on that left-hand side, Eric.
Yeah, it was dangerous. You saw some space with that three-man backline. Once you reach here, you see it again. You see space right there. Boy, when the pass switching, I say Messi left foot, that's a goal. But what a sliding tackle defensively over there. I hope you can see the replay here.
Yeah,
perfectly
wonderful
timed
challenge there.
Yeah, and then at that point, quickly closed down from the defender, and Sommer eventually gets his body on it.
Alphonso Davies has had a boss game so far, but then a mix-up here. What was Sommer thinking?
This has to be quicker thinking, quicker decision, because it takes too long. Pressure reach him. A little quick from Vitinha, I think. There was no pressure on him. He could have taken one more second to make sure that he gets it in the goal instead of just towards it. Yeah, he didn't look up at all, did he? Yeah, correct. And I don't think he had any clue that De Ligt was on his way, so he thought an easy pass in the goal. But if he had taken a little bit more time, I'm sure he would have scored, even though De Ligt would have been there same way.
Yeah, he would have been there, but again, it's a frenetic first half. I'm going to ask Juan Arango and Brent Sancho to join in the conversation here. What were your thoughts at the end of the first 45 minutes here, Juan? 0-0 at the end of it.
I mean, is it expected? We were talking about at the beginning of the match that PSG is the team that has the onus on them. They know that the pressure is on them to be able to exert pressure, to exert to dictate the conditions of the game, and also to be able to score first and score quickly. They were able to do 2 out of those 3, unfortunately. Now, does that mean that the game's over? No, it means that they have been able to come through. They have to continue it in the second half. They have to continue with that pace of football that they were able to exert, but also being able to take that ball away from Bayern. There were stretches where Bayern were able to handle the ball, regulate the game, and create opportunities themselves.
But there were instances, Brent, where we saw some uncharacteristic display from Bayern Munich from a defensive standpoint, where they're just a little bit too loose at the back.
Not just loose. I think the fact that PSG has pressured this Bayern Munich team and not allowed them any joy in terms of coming out to the back, even in the build-up area of things. Still, there was a lot of numbers in and around, and it's really caused players to think quickly, and it's caused, of course, the game to be played at such a frenetic pace. You have to give credit to both teams. They've really gone out there and shown a lot of quality and a lot of ability throughout the game. It's really suffered from a goal-scoring perspective with the amount of possession and good play that we've seen. You thought you'd have seen a bit more goal-scoring opportunities. But that being said, it's been an excellent game of football so far. It's really been exciting to watch.
Eric, Alfonso has had a really good match so far at the back for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I think it's exciting to see the wide areas, the battles there with Alfonso and with Hakimi, and even on the other side we see Coman. But I think, here we even see what Davis kind of have a run back, turn around to join that back 4, because when Bayern is attacking, you see Davis moving up and it goes into a back 3.
Yes.
And I think that's where we see PSG in transition moments. We saw that first minute with Mbappe in transition. But even at other moments, that's where really the unorganized defense is open up, and that's where PSG really has to try to capitalize on, as Brent was saying earlier as well. And they have fast play, they have good transition moments, and I think Bayern has been a little lucky to still have a clean sheet.
One, you expect more of the same come the second half from both teams?
Well, for Bayern, maybe not. As it gets closer to the 90 minutes, we might see them try and regulate a little bit more. With PSG, it might be more incremental as we go, because obviously the desperation to try and get the result and maybe even to win this match ends up being that much more fundamental for them. But on PSG's end, I definitely see them continuing or looking to continue with different options. Seeing maybe Messi drop back a little bit more and start distributing. Seeing Mbappe try and run at the central defenders a bit more. Continuous pressure. And that needs to be established in order for them to at least have another crack at it.
Because, Brent, they would have been encouraged with the fact that Bayern made a few mistakes, so probably pressing them and running at them would be the key here.
Yeah, but you also have to be careful when they break the press, and we've seen in 1 or 2 instances when Bayern have been able to break the press and get, of course, their wide players active. Masala, of course, Kingsley Coman on one side, Davies coming up and overlapping. So it really is a game about balance. It's a game about thinking and making sure that you don't make mistakes. You know, normally in a game that is this tight tactically, it is normally decided by either a moment of brilliance or a moment of madness. And you have to wonder what's going to happen in the second half.
Yeah, it is interesting. We see that Alphonso Davies obviously operating on the left-hand side. We don't see PSG attacking that side despite the fact that he has gone forward on so many occasions. Davies, do you think that's something that PSG will be looking at now that they are seeing the type of game that they're playing?
I mean, it's a battle that you kind of have to win if you want to be the one on the attacking end. So if Davies keep kind of pushing Hakimi back in that area, yes, you can transition quick, but where's then the personnel on that side to really capitalize on it? So maybe they go in a little different area where they try to get support for Hakimi on that side defensively to kind of make sure that in transition they have the space up there. But I think Davies is doing very good by pushing Hakimi back into a more defensive role.
Musiala has had a really good moment in that first half, but he was denied in the end by Donnarumma. What are you expecting from him in the second half? Because he needs to be more involved.
Well, yeah, he needs to be more involved, but then the spaces for him to be able to be involved haven't been there. And if you start to look at where PSG positions themselves in the second half, if they have to start pressing even more, if they have to start playing higher up, then expect Musiala to be able to find spaces maybe a little bit wider, maybe having to go down to the line, maybe having to drop back a little bit further, maybe going into the middle will be one of the places where he needs to go. Although then we have to see where Thomas Müller ends up playing in all of this. But for him, the necessity of PSG going forward may benefit him in terms of where he can position himself best.
Well, it's a tight game. It really is a tight game between these two teams. We can tell you that in the other game, it's still goalless between Tottenham Hotspur and AC Milan. But this one here is going to be an absolute cracker. Bayern Munich against PSG. 0-0 after 45 minutes. It's PSG who need the goal. Let's see if they'll get it, or will Bayern see this game through or probably win on a counter. These answers coming up in the next 45 minutes at the Allianz Arena. We join our feed once again.